What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another COD mode video. So today we are going to be discussing about the potential meta that is going to be making its way into COD Mobile. So as you guys know, we have already received the patch notes and I've already gone over them. If you do want to check out the video, I mean, you could just check it out on the channel. It's like the video before this one. But anyways, we are about to enter into, I guess, a new era of the meta for this game. Well, not really a new era, but just I guess a visit from like an old meta, but with I guess more variety of weapons, I could say. So as you guys know, we did have a 3-shot meta prior. If you guys remember, back at the tail end of year 1, we ended up having the meta for the ASM-10 as well as the Man of War. Those at the time were the top, I guess, 2 weapons that were being used in ranked as well as just normal multiplayer in general. And it was not really that much of a long-lasting meta. I mean, if anything, it probably lasted within a span of 1 to 2 months. So again, it wasn't really anything that was absolutely crazy, but at the same time, it was kind of annoying. But one thing we do have to keep in mind, this was during a time when not all the weapons were buffed the way that they are right now, where there's a lot more variety. Of course, back in the day, there usually would be like that one weapon that would just rule them all. But of course, things have changed and now we have a much more open meta, but that might not be the case for next season. So as you guys already have seen, there have been a lot of updates to most of the 3-shot weapons, with the exception of the ASM-10, where most of the headshot multipliers are now updated on most of the 3-shot guns, such as the Man of War, the EM2, the DRH, to provide a 2-shot kill capability so long as you hit in the head. Of course, some of them do have some conditions. For example, the DRH, you're most likely going to need the OTM mag to even do so, or well, at least at a good range. I think without the OTM mag, you might be able to 2-shot, but at a much smaller range. But of course, with the EM2, like I said, you're most likely going to need the Task Force barrel in order to actually 3-shot from a good distance as well. For the Man of War, of course, since it doesn't have any conversions or anything like that, the damage is just going to come natural with the gun, so you're going to be able to 2-shot depending on the first range. As I said before, a lot of people have made suggestions like this. There's a specific person named SaberSands on my chat that usually does that. And I mean, there's plenty of people like that on Twitter as well, and it looks like their dreams have finally come true, because that's what's going to happen with these 3-shot weapons. And these are some changes that I may be a little bit, well, not really confused, but very conflicted with. But at the same time, I'm kind of happy that they're happening, because with these 3-shot weapons, you know, you usually don't get rewarded that well for shooting in the head. There's no extra damage or anything like that, so even if you land all 3 shots in the head, it's still going to be a 3-shot kill. So there was never any reward to that. And even then, if you don't land those 3 shots from longer distances, you're still going to get a 3-shot kill either way with most of these weapons. But as you guys remember as well, a few seasons back, the AK-47 did actually get an update with the headshot multiplier that made it able to 2-shot kill. Of course, the gun still wasn't really taken that seriously. Of course, it's a little stronger now, and I would like to think that a lot more people are using it, but I initially thought that it would kind of just surpass the HVK, but I guess it didn't. I mean, people are still using it, and even in a very competitive way. But now we have that with multiple weapons this time around, and some of them are a little bit questionable, some of them are understandable. And as for the ASM-10, I know that's another 3-shot weapon, but there's probably a good reason why, and I'll explain later. But, you know, we have a lot more variety now other than just those 2 weapons. But given the variety that we have now, I think the meta is going to shift pretty insane, like a very insane amount. I mean, yes, we still have the Growl that's very worrisome even now. I mean, it's extremely overpowered in the current state of the game. But adding these other 3-shot weapons might actually change it in a either positive or a negative way. I mean, keep in mind, headshot multipliers, as good as they are, it also depends on the skill of the player, or I guess sometimes even luck as well. So just because we do have that 2-shot capability to the head for multiple weapons doesn't mean that every player is going to land them every single time. Of course, sometimes they get lucky. Sometimes, you know, they hit fire, they hit a few headshots, and they end up getting a 2-shot kill. But keep in mind, these 2-shot kills don't... I mean, they're not going to come easy. Both shots have to go to the head in order to even get that 2-shot kill. The only weapon that's a little bit more lenient with those 2 shots is, of course, the Odin or, something like the SKS. But it's safe to say that overall, we're going to have a pretty crazy 3-shot meta. But of course, there are some downsides to this meta. So given that these weapons are a lot slower and a lot more powerful, you could expect the camping rate to increase dramatically, whether or not you're playing ranked or public matches. I mean, the camping is crazy either way. But it could skyrocket a lot more when you're playing a hardpoint, team deathmatch, or just anything that's, I guess, not search and destroy. So that is going to be something that we really do have to expect in the future until they nerf these weapons or until they make better weapons. But as for them patching these things later on in the future within Season 3, Season 4, or so on, I don't really think that's going to happen. Unless maybe it's for the DRH, they could probably make some adjustments. That's the only weapon that I do have a problem with when it comes to having a 2-shot kill capability. I think it's a little bit too easy to get headshots with that gun. And given the fact that a lot of pro players already consider this to be a problem, and they're already looking to ban the OTM mag from the DRH in competitive, it's going to be an even bigger issue now that it's even more powerful than before. My best suggestion for the DRH is to remove the 2-shot capability from those longer ranges and just create a new first range that has that 2-shot headshot capability for a few meters, not to the point where it's across the map in 30 meters and you could still 2-shot. I still think that's pretty unfair, and keep in mind the DRH's fire rate is, it's not fast, but I would say it's faster than the EM2 and the Man of War. I do think something needs to be done about that. But now finally, before I end out this video, I do want to talk about the ASM-10 as well, because that's another weapon, I guess, that needs to be discussed, because I know it's a 3-shot weapon, but this is the only one that did not receive a 2-shot kill benefit. This was most likely due to the fact that the Branson barrel exists. So given that you don't really have a reduction of the multipliers, just, I guess, really just a reduction in range, or I guess no range benefits in general, the fact that you could at least have those first 2 shots fire faster might actually be an issue in terms of balance. And don't get me wrong, the ASM-10 has come a long way. We've, they've made the monolithic suppressor, or I guess they reverted some of the old nerfs from the monolithic, so it does have a bit more range, so you could extend that with the Branson barrel. Of course, before, the Branson barrel used to have like 15% more range, but then they removed that, and I think they made it weigh a little bit more, so it's going to be a little bit heavier. But my best suggestion for that one, if they're ever going to add a 2-shot capability, just have it for the gun without the Branson barrel, but if you do have the Branson, then it won't have that 2-shot capability. However, even then, I think it's still a bit of a stretch. I don't know if they would ever do that, but yeah, this is going to be a very interesting time in the world of Call of Duty Mobile. So yeah, I can't wait to actually, discuss that. But anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe for some more COD Mobile content. I'll see you guys next time.